Welcome to Show Me the Mommy, the podcast where we explore the stories of local moms, business owners, and fascinating individuals in Southeast Missouri. We are your hosts, Laura,
Rori, and Kellie.
Join us as we engage in conversations that cover a variety of topics, from parenting to entrepreneurship and everything in between. This is Show Me the Mommy. Today's episode is an unhinged episode where we freely talk about topics or anything that comes to the conversation. Join us as we dive into making new friends as a mom. Hello, ladies.
Hello. What are friends?
I don't know.
I don't have any, so I have no advice.
I just have three of me that I talk to often. Named them Elise, Gertrude, and Maribel.
Your alter egos?
Yeah. They're they're people with feelings.
Oh.
Yeah. We talk.
That's right.
Yeah. I use Gertrude.
Excuse me.
I use Gertrude for, when I need to be shamed. No, I'm just kidding.
Because it does sound like a grandma name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She comes through with a whip, the switch from outside, and she whacks me into place. But those are my four friends.
Okay. Well, explain your other two.
No, it's fine. We don't need to talk about them. Yeah, it's okay. They don't want to come out.
Do they want to come into the conversation?
They might.
Are they in the room with us now?
Yes, always.
Are they in the corner?
Yeah,
In the chair?
always. I told you, don't let me talk like this. Unhinged was a bad idea on my side. I'm gonna need structure. Okay.
Oh, well, I mean.
No structure, Laura.
Has anybody ever made a new friend as a mom? This is something people really were struggling with.
So Kellie and I, we were grown-ups when we became friends.
And we were moms. Yes. And now we're besties.
Well, how'd you guys meet?
I messaged her on Facebook and was like, "Do you want to be my friend?"
Yeah. I feel like that's how a lot of it's gonna go these days. It's like when you see that, I'm like, Facebook's opened up a lot of those doors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mom groups, there's a lot of things, but it's also kind of intimidating.
I think so
because
too.
It's the interwebs.
Well, we shared, so I was just
Common
starting out in
interests.
photography and she was a few years in. So we had some common ground there and I just messaged her and we met for coffee and we've pretty much been inseparable ever since.
So your business brought you together too, and I see that a lot too. A lot of people get involved in new things or businesses, and that makes new friends as well. It's also, how do you have time as a mom to me?
I feel like most of my friends are business owners.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
We've met so many people that way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. Like my current friends. I feel
Yeah.
like friends come and go,
Right.
just like any relationship. But like the current people that I do associate with on a daily basis are all business owners.
Yeah.
If I forgot anyone out there,
Yeah.
I'm so
And
sorry.
I only have a couple like childhood friends that I talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say I have two for sure that I'm still really close with.
And I
Right.
think
And I have one from childhood.
Yeah.
But
Like we were talking about before, you just evolve so much in the stage of life you're in. And I've got childhood friends, but their kids are much older, and it's very hard for us to, it's going to be very hard to get everybody together because
Yeah.
their kids want to do very different
different
things. But then I've got another friend who's a childhood friend, but her kid's only 6 weeks older than mine. Very easy for us to go do stuff. They're on the exact same schedule.
What's
so-
really hard is, so I had, one of my best friends, she moved away. Several years ago. Our kids were really close in age. It was just, really, really great, valuable friendship. And it's crazy that, just moving away, it just creates
yeah.
Oh, I know.
that distance and you just grow apart. And nothing happened. We just,
That happened to me too. So before I actually got into my business, I had two friends, and one lived here in Cape and the other one lived in Benton, and we were all the time doing stuff. I was at their house for coffee 3 times a week and
Yeah.
play dates and all that kind of stuff. And then her husband, he got relocated for work to Texas. And then the other one, I moved to Cape and I was like, yay, I'm moving to Cape, and she's there. And then her husband took another job up
I know.
4 or 5 hours away.
I know.
And that happened really close together.
Yeah.
And so I lost my I didn't lose, but my routine and what I
Yes.
did every week.
I know.
And so that was kind of a sad place.
well, you
for
always
me.
have such good intentions when people move away. Oh, we're going to keep in touch. We're going to talk every day. We're still
100%.
going to get together. We're going to plan these monthly dates.
I think we've gotten together once.
It's tough.
You
It's too
know.
tough. My best friend, like I said, she's close, and her child's only. If she ever moved, I would lose one of my biggest support systems. One of my onlys, because it's just she really is the only thing that.
So she cannot move.
Nope.
No.
Bethany, keep it together.
No, we will slit your tongue.
Yeah. I know. She's like brought it up once and I was like, don't you even. I will sabotage everything in your life. No, I would never. But it'd be huge,
devastating.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very hard because I don't have a husband. So like a lot of people, you know, when they do, that is their best friend.
Right.
And I totally get that. And then everything kind of ancillary on top of that. But it's just me. And so like, yeah, no, like I need you.
That's your.
I need you for my support. Yeah.
Need her. Yeah.
So, and we're very bonded in that way. But
Yeah. That.
Well, and it's so hard as an adult too and a business owner because I mean like we're so close, but like we probably only physically see each other. I mean, not that often, except for like this.
I mean, we make plans a lot, but
and then the day of we're like, just kidding.
yeah, we always
Oh,
do that.
yeah.
So we'll always be like, hey, we're gonna go to the farmer's market on Saturday.
yeah.
But do not tell the kids.
Yeah.
Because when we wake up that morning, we might not want to go.
Yeah.
And if we tell the kids,
we have to go.
we have to go.
Got it. No, we do that a
We
lot
have
too.
that unspoken.
Yeah. And she knows she totally is like, look, she knows my life is crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so she's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go walk? And I'm like, wait, do you not want to go walk? Because if you don't want to go walk, I'm fine not walking.
But I love the fact that like our relationship, like I don't have to make an excuse of why I don't want to go. I can literally just say,
I would never
I
be
don't want to
friends.
put a bra on today. And she's like, same.
If
You know,
you
and it's
made
fine.
me come up with an excuse, I'm not your friend.
Absolutely.
We're not friends.
Yeah.
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 No. I got to be authentic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be like,
100%.
hey, do you want to go do this? She's like, not really. I'm like, all right.
Fair enough.
No, you say fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'm like, but keep inviting me. Don't
Yeah.
ever stop and
Absolutely. No, for sure. I think that's so true. And also, like, then maybe bring it down to your level. If you can't, because I had this thing called POTS. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. When you
It's
were
terrible. I had it. It got way worse when I was pregnant, but I probably will have it for a while. They thought maybe by 40 you outgrow it or something, but it's just something young women get. Probably IVF triggered it. Whatever. Very difficult to walk, breathe, all that stuff. And so sometimes she was just like, okay, yeah, because we try to do walks a lot and take the kids on walks. And she's like, okay, but what if I just come over to your house? Like she could tell I was tired or something and
Yeah.
kind of read through the lines. And it's just like, well, do you just want to sit around and have a coffee? And those friends, man, God, they don't come around often.
Right.
That's like the best way. I think it like meet the other person on their level. If you're having issues with it, yeah, they maybe can't do everything you need to do right now, but maybe they can just have like a play date. Maybe
Right.
they can just go sit down or go to
And
a movie or
I'm
something.
fully convinced that your friends can also be your soulmates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like 100%.
Yeah,
Like
in different ways,
soul
for sure.
sisters or
Yeah,
whatever. Just-
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think you'll also know very quickly if this
Oh, yeah.
person's going to be. I mean, I can tell within about an hour. So if I will ever talk to you again,
Yeah.
like if
yeah.
I'll vibe with you or not.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just some people those energies do not match, and they don't need to be. around
Sometimes
each other.
I've been blindsided by some people like that because I always just see the best in everyone, or I try to.
See,
And so
why
my
you have to think
and my
terribly.
husband, who is just exactly like you,
Yeah.
he would literally. There has been a couple people, and he had met them, and he said they're crazy.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, they are not.
that's exactly how I am.
Fast forward 6 months down the road, and he was not lying.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that, and I hate being wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, wow, like he can totally just pick up on those.
So you are like almost everybody I love in my life is like you.
Uh-huh.
I gravitate to people.
So you're saying you love me, Laura?
Yes, let's get married. What's your husband's name? Forget him.
James.
Kick to the curb. I'll be James. I'm already James.
You are.
I just have to get used to my face.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll officiate the wedding.
There we go. Rory's stepping in. But yeah, it's just so like I gravitate to people. Like all my best friends are people that see the best in people. And I don't know because I can't have two of me. Oh dear
No,
Lord,
you kill each
We
other.
would tear down the world. The world would come to pieces. So I never ever, if there's somebody like me, I'll butt heads with you pretty hard. But I always gravitate to these people. They even me out. But I also am like, I will protect them with everything I have. So when I see them come in contact with people that I'm like, they are crazy or they are whatever, it will be like I'm an extreme protector. I will step in immediately and I will get between them and I'm like, get back. Like, I know what you're doing.
I love that.
Get back, So I do tend to, but I only take on, I mean, I only have like 3 people in my life, maybe 4 that I
You
would
got to keep yourself
that I would do that for.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you can't come in. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
have enough in me to protect all
it
of these
takes
people.
so much energy too.
Yeah.
To just be friends. Like,
Yeah.
And I know that sounds very.
And if you are a person who gets blindsided, that could be super tough to even
it's
want
very
to get
tough.
out there. Yeah.
It is very tough. And I got to the point to where, and I like to help people too. So I'm like, I give. And then I had to literally, I was just like emotionally and mentally drained to where I just had to be like,
Yeah.
Well, and then if
I
it's
can't
like
do this
costing you so much of yourself just to be in this friendship, like, is that actually a friendship or what is
no,
it?
definitely
it
not.
wasn't. It wasn't.
See, I feel like
So-
I'm kind of like in like the between you two. Like, I like to see the best in people, but I also feel like I'm really good at
You
reading
are.
energies.
You
Yeah.
are.
Like, you just seem like I just don't know about that yet,
Yeah.
but.
And I can feel energy as far as like if someone's just like negative or something like that.
Sure.
But a lot of times I meet people, I'm like, oh no, like they're so nice, they're so nice.
It's that it is. It's just I always say it's a gene or it's a personality or something, or I think to your childhood, like did you have to become hyper aware of how people acted and how you had to read between the lines with people and things. But I mean, I have called out at least 3 psychopaths that I've met in my life over like a 1 days of meeting them. And I'm like, they're a psychopath. Like that's a true psychopath.
There's hope for us yet, Kelly.
Oh my gosh.
My husband is like you. Like, he sees the good in everyone. Everyone's good. Like, just
And he's he's like
unicorns and rainbows.
he's like such a social. He's he's out there, just like me, talk to everybody.
Yeah.
He could have a conversation and then like, who was that? Oh, wrong number. Like that would totally be Mitchell McCauley.
Absolutely.
I love those people. I would do anything for them. To me, they're like the rarest gem in the world.
Yeah.
Like to find somebody so pure and so it's just a gift. It's such a gift. But yeah, the world is also evil. And that's where I
Yeah,
starting to
that's
see
the
that.
problem. They
I'm
don't
starting to
see.
see
They don't see like the toxic parts of people,
Yeah.
and I have to be like, look, like this is not healthy. Like, why are you letting them do this, and why are you letting them treat you this way?
No, it's too, and also like being a pushover or, I've heard that a lot. Well, I'm just a pushover.
I'm not that anymore.
I'm too easy to,
used to be.
manipulate.
Yeah.
I know my mom, she, not a pushover as much, but she, like her and my sister, they freeze up when somebody would like confront them. They freeze and they don't know what to say.
Don't like
They know what to do.
confrontation.
Yeah, no, I don't think they like it, but I just think they
Well,
freeze
no one
up.
likes it,
and
but,
they're just like, I don't know, and I have to like, but people take advantage of that.
Oh,
The freeze
yeah.
response, So I have to go with them if there's ever any type of conflict. I have to answer the phone most of the time.
Yeah.
I have to make the pizza orders. Like I have to do all of it. They just hand me a phone. I'm like, I got it.
I do that with my husband.
Yeah.
He's like, well, call in our takeout order. I was like, no, you do it. I'll write down what I want.
Oh my God.
And that's so foreign to me because I'm like, just call the person. And they just can't. Like especially my little sister, she cannot do it. She's like, nope, won't do it. Just order online or nothing.
I feel like there needs to be an app like Tinder, but for friends.
Oh, I thought about that too. With,
like where you could swipe.
but also play dates.
Yeah.
And like just doing like, hey, I have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays free. Just schedule sometime. I know me and my friend, it's
There's a
hardest
group for that.
schedule. What's it called?
MOPS.
Moms?
MOPS. MOPS. Mothers of Preschoolers something. They meet.
Oh.
They meet once a month. They have a speaker. They have.
Oh. See, I don't want structured. Let's just be.
You don't want
Laura doesn't
structure.
want
Well, I don't want to go and like. So here is one thing about me. When I'm off of all my stuff, when I'm not working, or I don't want to go.
You're always working.
Yes. So very rare, very rare. But when I am not, I don't want to learn anything or hear any. I don't want to hear a speaker. That's what I meant.
But you do a little craft and.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna walk.
Can you imagine
no, I
her
don't want to
doing
go
a
do a
craft?
No.
Okay.
No.
That MOPS is not for you.
No crafts. I don't want to do anything
Okay,
like
back
that.
to the app.
It's like I need to go walk and like just have a walk and we free talk like we're doing now. I want to
Okay.
go walk for a free like an hour and just think about nothing else besides that. So that's like where we're
Okay.
talking about an app. It's like
So
does not want to craft. It also I know we got way off topic because this is Unhinged and that's what we do. But going back to like moms as friends and everything, even like dating as you get older, I'm like, it's just such a different ballgame. And there's so many other things.
It sounds exhausting.
No, and there's so many other things that come into play. Like if they have kids, if they have this, if they have that, and that bringing those relationships together. And it's like, it's
That's
just
hard
not
to
something
navigate.
I was willing to do.
Well, and the older you get, the
Yeah.
more settled you get in your life, your routine, your way of doing things, and then it kind of mixes it all up when you add somebody else into the mix.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
probably explains why I truly enjoyed my 30s. Like I
Yeah.
love that time.
No,
And
your
I'm
30s are
I'm
your
40
best.
now.
Yeah.
And I like it even more. Like
Do.
age is just a number, but I feel I don't know. I guess it's just because I'm like so sure of myself.
Yeah.
And not in a cocky way, but like
think
you were
your
saying, my
20s
brain has developed.
Your 20s are terrible. The 20s were the
yeah.
worst decade for me.
They were
And it's because I was grinding and working so hard all the time, and you never felt like you were going to get there. And there was so much to do because you're starting at the very bottom and you got to build all the way up. Now, my 30s, I feel like I have really got to reap the rewards of that work in the 20s.
Right,
I've
right.
got to. And then all of a sudden I had Lucy, and I think postpartum anxiety kicked in a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's not enough. And I've like had to. And so I've always been like this, but about 35-ish, I really hit the gas again going forward. But like, yeah, from like 30 to 35, I had a great, like, I just felt like I got to sit back and rest a little bit.
Right.
So I feel like in my 20s, I really had a hard time figuring out who I was as a person,
Yeah.
figuring out my place in the world. And then in my 30s, I really kind of honed in on myself, my identity, where I fit in, where I don't fit in. And I really just feel a lot more like at peace with myself in my 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you become a mom, you lose your identity a little bit. You know, like sometimes you can lose it through the diapers and the everyday hustle and bustle. And then you look back, you know, and kids go into kindergarten or something and you're like, who am I? Who am I? How do I identify? And
My
I'm not just
kids-
Jack's mom or, you know.
And I've never had that issue. I always felt like it added to it. Like I've always had a very strong sense of self. So I just don't have that problem, which is interesting.
See, I've had to work on
I like the dynamic of seeing
Yeah.
how different people feel.
Yeah.
I've had to work on being a mom as not being my sole identity because I've kind of clung on to that, and now my kids are 7 and 10, so they're getting more independent, and I've really had to kind of dig in deep and figure out, okay, like who am I? Like what do I like? What am I passionate about?
Yeah.
I had to ask my therapist if I was a narcissist once. I was like, am I a narcissist? And he quoted, he's like, no. He goes, by definition, when you ask if you're not, you can't be a narcissist. And I said, oh, okay. He's like, but you have a very strong sense of self. And I was like, that's always stuck with, but I've just, again, back to that personality or genes, you either have some things or you don't. And like, that is just nothing
And
I've
you can't
ever
learn that
And I would
either.
never ever think it about you. I would never think it about another girl and say, well, she is just a mom. But I have a friend who has
And
that
I don't
problem.
look at people that way, though.
Nope, never.
I don't look at
Yeah.
people like, oh, she's just a mom. But in myself,
But you do it to yourself.
and I don't know, like, I had my first kid when I was 18.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was then, you know, and at that time when I was 18, I was like, oh, yeah,
I
be a
have
mom.
multiple friends who are doing things literally just because they don't want their only qualification to be a mom. And I've talked to them about it, and it's so confusing to me. And I'm like, nobody thinks that that's all they think about to them. And that's all they see in other people too. Well, she doesn't do anything, but she's this, or she, well, you know, this.
Yeah.
And
I never dwelled on it.
interesting.
I loved being a mom.
Yeah.
Like, it was the greatest thing that I've ever done and
Yeah.
the best hat that I've ever worn. So I didn't care if people were like, oh, Kelly's just a mom. Like, that didn't faze me. What got to me was when I needed to do things for myself and realized that I had to take care of myself. I'm like, okay, well, I'm pouring so much into my kids that I never went and got my hair done. I never got my nails done. And I used to do all of those things. And then I had to be like, okay, I have to start doing things for me too.
Right.
Just so that I can feel better inside. And then, you know, you can't be your best version of yourself if you're pouring it into everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, and I always think about like when my kids grow up and move out of the house, like
What will be
who
left?
am I gonna be? What am I like? I don't want to feel like a lost puppy.
I'm following
You
her.
are.
I'm following her to college. Wherever she goes, I go. So good luck. Yeah. No, I think that is the empty nest, you know, and we're not anywhere close to it or anything like that. None of us are. But It can be. I don't know. I just feel like it's how you go at it too, how you see it, and how you. But again, back to personalities. I know these are deep insecurities and wounds for a lot of people, and it's so hard for me because I'm like looking. I'm like, no, you're amazing. You can do anything. You're perfect. Like it's fine. Be the best mom then. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you own that. Like just be a mom. Who cares? And they hear this internal voice of just like, well, you're just a mom, or you're not doing anything else, or you're not good enough because this person does this and you're just a mom. And I'm like, when did just a mom become a negative thing?
Yeah,
What do you
being
mean,
a mom
just
is
a mom?
so important, and it's such
The most important
it's
job.
Absolutely,
Like that's our
so-
future. So
See,
I love you.
I want to be it all. I want to be the best mom. I want to be the best business owner. I want to be the best wife. I want to be the best friend. I want to be the best of everything. And
Yeah.
you just can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, no,
we got high standards.
Yeah, I mean, you can try your best. That's the kicker.
There you go.
I don't know if I don't think I've ever been the best at anything. I don't think I'm ever going to get like an Academy Award for that equivalent for anything. I've never. There's a difference between I do my best and I'm always going to do my personal best versus like you're just naturally gifted and you're a savant in this one thing.
Yeah.
Like that's a very rare thing to come across. And I think if we're all chasing trophies, we've already lost the point.
Yeah, I don't need a trophy.
No, 100%. I don't ever need anybody to tell me good job or. I mean, it's nice when Erin, we go back to I'm proud of you all the time. When she said that it all inflicted something in us.
Yes, I know. We're like,
We about all melted down. Yeah, but it's not like you need it to
Right.
go onwards.
yeah. And I think as women, that's just kind of how we're wired.
You think?
I think
Yeah,
so.
just don't need it. Yeah.
I'm like
Never
a
needed it.
participation ribbon mom.
You need it? You need the ribbon?
No, like I'm not like the best, but I'm like I get a participation ribbon for my effort.
I want a pat on the back. In fact, like if you say good job to me and I know it's not the best I've ever done, I'm like that. Shut up. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. Like, it's not.
Liar.
There's nothing to even don't know. So, anyways, it's probably messed up in my end. It's probably a normal thing to tell people good job, but like I don't tell myself good job either for anything.
You know what though? I do that. Like my husband is really good at telling me, "Oh, you look so nice today. Like you look so nice," and I'm like, "No, like,
Yeah.
no."
Yeah. Like it's not real.
Yeah.
So don't say it. Yeah. I feel that about. I mean, it has to be something very good before I will accept a good job or even tell myself a good job. Like I have to do something miraculous.
Yeah.
I did IVF. I was getting my hair done one day. My hairdresser. I was going through the IVF process and I was finally pregnant and she's like, Laura, you did all that on your own? And I was like, well, yeah. Like who else was going to do it? She's like, you did all those shots on your. Yeah. Well, who else was going to do them? And she's like, we got a girl here and she's like, her husband gave her every single shot. And her husband did this for her and her husband did that. And she's like, you did all that on your own? She's like, that's a good job. But I was like, never, ever did I think.
It didn't cross your mind.
No, like never. I was like, no, it's fine. She goes, no, you're not going to diminish that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I
She
will.
called you out on
She
it,
did.
though.
She called me fast. But I was like, it's never hit me like that. It's never hit me to,
Because that's your reality, too.
yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
true.
just-
When you
that's
have
what
to, you'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll say that. When
Yeah.
it's no other choice, it's kind of, but
This
I,
is how I live my life.
yeah, and I can
Yeah.
get very toxic with it, as all things, where I just never. I mean, I'll never. It has to be very, very good before I'm like, pat on the back, Laura. Great job.
Good job, Laura.
Oh shit.
We're proud of you, Laura.
It literally the ick. We were talking about the ick. Hearing yourself on a podcast is icky. Watching yourself is icky. That is very icky to me. I feel it in my chest. It's hurting. It hurts.
I have a hard time accepting compliments. Like
too.
if somebody's like, "Oh, like you look so great," I'm like, "Happy birthday."
Oh my god.
So what's wrong with us?
Somebody,
write in and diagnose
sometimes I
us.
feel uncomfortable a lot.
Yeah.
If I get compliment like, oh, like this picture was so good, or like if people talk about that piece up there or something like that, I just stand there and I am so uncomfortable. I mean, I'm grateful that people are saying that, but there's just something where I just want to melt into the floor.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
it just, and I don't know why I can't receive that. It's perfect.
Oh my
I've heard of people making, not not only you, I've had other friends that do that. And especially like in their businesses, they have an alter ego.
Oh yeah. You have to split.
And they step into that
You have
alter
to.
ego.
You don't
I
when
don't do
they're-
that.
when
You
they're
don't
dealing-
What's wrong with me? What do I need to be doing?
You don't put on like a business hat.
I do have a business hat, but she doesn't have a name.
you feel like it's still you.
I feel like it's still me, but I know
I have,
people
like,
who
different-
do slip into that role, and they've named that role because they're uncomfortable with dealing with certain aspects of their business, so they slip into that role, and for whatever reason, they're more comfortable with following business policies or whatever.
I call
whatever
it,
the case may be.
I call it splitting. I know that there is an actual psychiatric term for splitting. I'm not referring to that.
Yeah.
It's just
Interesting.
I call it splitting. But yeah, no, I feel like sometimes I have to be a completely different person to get through a situation. I cannot be me when I go in there. Okay. In fact, I mostly don't feel like I'm me most of the time because I have to put on those different hats to get through so much stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Who else?
Because I always say
there's different, like, I mean, there's different people that I feel like I can, but
you're missing out on all the fun.
It's just fun. She's great. Especially when she starts talking about all the secret cameras in the rooms and everything. She's a hoot.
Veronica blinked twice. I also think that's part of being running a business and being professional.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to.
It is.
100%.
It is, but it exhausts me to my core.
It
I don't know
exhausting.
I know there's some people who can do it so easily and effortlessly. I'm exhausted. I can't do more than, I love being self-employed for that reason because I cannot do more than a couple of social events at a time because I'm like, I cannot. I have to. Sometimes when we do this podcast, I leave and I'm like, I'm toast for the rest of the day.
Same.
So heavy. And I'm like, I cannot do this.
Are you an introvert?
Oh, I don't know. It's a weird thing. My little sister is a true introvert where she will never talk to anybody. She hates all of it. I can do it, obviously, but it drains me.
You're my husband. I swear to God.
I'm an
not even kidding.
extroverted introvert.
You know, I wouldn't cut in on this.
Yeah,
on this marriage.
I got a doormat, and it was like around Thanksgiving time, and it said "gather somewhere else." Because that's totally just her.
I have a sign that says "Please leave by 9."
Yeah.
He doesn't even want them to come over.
Yes, if you step into my house, that's a different conversation. If you step into my territory, you have to be okay with a million things. Like, you don't get to have an opinion on this. You don't get to have an opinion on that because you're coming into my space, and I protect that with my life.
Yeah.
But
if I have friends over, my husband just hides.
Yeah, no, I don't. If it was anybody else's friends,
doesn't he?
I don't want to be around.
No, he hides.
And that's why my group is so small.
Because he can't. He's just like, I'm not.
Yeah.
My emotion, like I can't. No. And it's fine. She can come over, but I'm going to stay in the bedroom.
I have to mentally prepare to be social. And then I have to recharge by being alone.
Yeah.
That is how I just have to be by myself.
No, 100%. I have to cut it off. I'm like, I
And
cannot
I'm
be in
getting,
that.
I got more like that the older I got.
Yeah.
The younger I was just like, oh yeah, like I could just be, even with my little kids when I was, had one at 18, one at 20, and I could just go do all the things with them and all this and all that. But I'm so different now. Like I used to want to be around someone all the time.
Yes.
With people, family, friends, whoever. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then the older I got, like I was like, I like being alone.
Oh.
And it's different. It's weird. It's kind of foreign to me.
So how can we, if we want to make new friends as adults, what can we do?
Heavy sigh.
First, you need to decide if you have enough energy
Do you want a friend?
to have another
First,
friend.
decide that. Do you want friends? They're not. Okay.
Yeah. Step one.
I think you got to find somebody. I think common stuff. So you can definitely
Common interests.
You can be different people because every friend I have is a whole different person than me, but we're all alike in some way. So we're the same age, or we have a child the same, some kind of common thing pulls us together, or you're doing the same business or a business type. So I think starting there, start just, if there are play groups, that's the first place I would go. If I really did not want to approach anybody on social media or anything like that, I would go to those play groups. I would talk to people. It sucks. Amp yourself up before you get out there.
Yeah.
Get a script in your head
Yeah.
of what you're going to say. I script things all the time. In my head, all the time.
You could go to the farmer's market. You could,
Or
if
maybe
you go to
even,
church.
like-
You could meet people
Yeah.
there.
Maybe
Yeah.
even like moms of like your kids' schools.
Yes.
Like,
There you
kids'
go.
friends.
Yeah.
Sports.
And if you've got a brand new baby, that is such a hard time period because you are very isolated and stuff like that. But there are like doesn't the library do like it's infant reading time, stuff like
yeah.
any
Yeah.
place where you can go where other people are in the same thing where you can kind of say
Same
hi.
season of life.
Yeah,
basically.
say hi. And then also Facebook, like, I know that's everybody's crazy about it. It is a risk. You don't know. I'm not saying meet
You could
anybody.
be in a mom group of
Yeah.
people who are meeting at a park on
Yeah.
Tuesday at 9. Go and see.
Yeah, I'm not saying meet anybody.
Discovery Playhouse. Like you could go there. And
Or if you've got a bunch of like
see.
mutuals with someone, I
Yes.
mean, they're probably pretty okay.
Yeah. And, ask people to lunch. I think lunch is a great, like, intro. And you could even be like, if somebody knows something about a topic and you like, hey, do you want to have lunch? I'd love to have lunch and pick your brain. I think things start there and you can go and ask them and, and then conversations start to develop and then you realize you really like each other.
Right.
And if you leave that conversation and y'all both are feeling really good about it, you probably hit something. Yeah. You're probably on the way. So, but honestly, it's going to take work from you. Nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to just show up at your door and be like, do you want to be friends?
Right.
The
neighbor's not going to bring you like
Thank God that doesn't
a
happen.
casserole.
I'd be in trouble. Yeah, thank God nobody's coming looking for
Just
friends.
hold up my sign, please leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, if your kid wants to join karate or something, like meet some other moms there. Or
yeah, your kids' interests. I could see that being a huge
common ground.
Yeah, because you're going to be doing the tournaments with all of them.
Whatever.
And it's not always going to work out. I mean, there's been times that I've been like, oh, yeah, I think we could be friends. Then I'm like, oh.
It doesn't work.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I don't.
Just go into like the trampoline park and maybe,
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
if you want a friend, they're out there.
No, they are. I think that's probably the people are struggling with it. I would imagine it's because they feel it's hard for them to approach people.
Well, yeah.
And I could totally
It could
see
be
that.
awkward.
Yeah, it is. But they might, you never know unless you do it. I always come up the effect of if you don't do it, there's a 100% chance
that
that's not happening. If you do it, maybe there's a 50 or a 20 or a 10, but there's at least a chance, so you're probably going to fail more times than not. Let's just be honest on anything.
Right.
But if you don't do it, that's a 100% chance that you will fail at it. So you might as well give yourself the 10.
Yeah, and what's the worst that can happen?
100%. I always say that too. But then again, I always say it can always get worse. So when somebody's like, it can't get any worse, and I'm like, it can always get worse. So that's not a good analogy.
Don't tempt the universe.
But it's very true. But in micro things like we're talking about, if you go introduce yourself to somebody. And I mean, I know girls even older girls that have been bullied and been made fun of and stuff like. So yeah, it's a huge barrier to go put yourself out there and do that. Which if you're one of those girls, why? What's wrong with you? Why are you bullying people?
Right.
At 30, 40,
that's not a good look.
50 years old.
Not a good look.
It's wild to me that I'm like, do you have time? You have mental capacity to bully?
Right.
It's just wild. But I've known I feel like more than not.
Right. Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Why are we worried about what other people are doing?
That's a thing. And I feel like social media has brought on a lot of that. Of this picture perfect, this and that. I got this and this. And
oh, yeah. That's also a
it's
whole other company.
It is. But yeah, it's not a good look, guys. Don't be that person.
The more
We're grown women.
Yeah.
Let's act your age.
The more you try to make yourself look good on Facebook, the less I believe you.
Absolutely.
The more I see, the more I'm like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Is your marriage struggling? Kristen, is your marriage? It's always just like the more you do, the more I'm like, yeah, you're not doing hot, are you? Bam. Dropping bombs. Yeah, guys. So
this has been fun.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck out there in the friend world. I'm going to be in my house.
You're on your own, kid.
We're throwing you to the wolves.
I'm going to go take a shower. Yeah. We'll see you there.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode from Show Me the Mommy podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Show Me the Mommy podcast. You can keep up to date with every episode we release and new guests that are coming our way. See you guys soon.